This video is brought to you by hoodbeast.com. Design your own custom hoodies. hoodbeast.com. We are beast.
Yo, what is up guys? It's me, Exactly. Well, that for sure didn't take too long. One day after losing in the NBA Finals to the Golden State Warriors, tons of speculation has already begun with people wondering what the Cavs will now do to bolster their chances of winning a ring next year. And of course, one of the names is the same name that was popping up around the trade deadline, Carmelo Anthony. See, it's widely known that Anthony is more than just available for trade, and I guess the Knicks did contact the Cavs about a possible Melo for Love swap around the trade deadline, to which Cleveland rightfully rejected. And I still don't think that they can trade Melo for Love, because in order to compete with Golden State, you're gonna need Love as well, you know, giving up talent. Really good talent, which Love is, and I feel people forget how good K-Love was before he had to become a third option on the team. And even this year he was pretty good too. I mean, he averaged basically 20 points and 11 rebounds as a third option, so giving him up, unless it's for some insane talent like a DeMarcus Cousins or someone else on that level, just isn't an option. But that's not the point. The point is that J.R. Smith also wants his former teammate on the Cavs. And normally when it's just a social media post that a player likes or something, then I'd say not to think too much about it. But when J.R. Smith likes a picture that basically just says bring Melo, and I guess also Blake Griffin to Cleveland, I mean, it kinda speaks for itself. And I know some people are gonna disagree with this, but I honestly think Melo could be good for the Cavs. Sure, his type of play alone won't win you too many games or any championships, but LeBron could really use someone like him. You know, when LeBron is out of the games, the Cavs offense struggles, to put it lightly, and Melo could kind of help that, since you could just throw the ball down to him and let him do what he does. His ISOs for a full game are not good, but for a couple minutes here or there every quarter could be just what the Cavs need. This guy's name just keeps popping up in the headlines. Every single day there's something else about this player, and it's gonna be that way until he makes a decision. Also, after he makes a decision, I'll have to make a video talking about his decision, so I suggest you get used to hearing the name Gordon Hayward, because he is back in the headlines. And once again, it's not because of anything he did or that he said, but like last time, when his wife posted a picture of their baby in a Go Green shirt and people were like, oh, Hayward to Boston and all that other stuff, this most certainly doesn't help either, since the fact that Isiah Thomas, the leader for the Boston Celtics on the court, just took the liberty to follow Gordon Hayward on Instagram. What's the big deal? Following someone on Instagram is no big deal whatsoever, right? Well, kinda, but at the same time it kinda is, because that often indicates that that player wants that other player on their team or something of that nature. See, Isiah Thomas made it pretty clear after the loss to the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals that he was all in for bringing more talent during the offseason, and would do whatever the team needed him to do in order to help bring in that talent.
We definitely need more, so I don't know what those guys are going to do with this team, but I would love to see everybody back and us add a piece or more.
And while it's currently illegal for GMs or owners to contact players about joining their team, since before July 1st that would be considered tampering by the league, players recruiting other players, however, is perfectly fine. So Thomas most likely followed Gordon Hayward so he could try and slide in those DMs real quick to get an early start on the recruiting process. What did I tell you guys yesterday? What did I say? I said that the NBA is not ruined, and I expect this to be a huge offseason where some teams really go all out and try and close the gap on Golden State. Some of you said I was crazy. Some of you doubted my gut feeling. Well, how is this for your doubt now? Of course, no moves have been made or anything like that, but Houston Rockets GM Daryl Morey says the Rockets have something up their sleeve to beat the Warriors. They're not unbeatable. There have been bigger upsets in sports history. We're gonna keep improving our roster. We're used to long odds. If Golden State makes the odds longer, we might up our risk profile and get even more aggressive. We have something up our sleeve. See, I told you. Well, sure, some teams will just sit back and continue to grow their young talent for the next 5 years. There are other teams in the NBA who have bona fide superstars that really can't afford to just sit back and wait and have to try and win as soon as possible. And like Maury said, those teams aren't just gonna stand pat and be like, yeah, you know what? It's not possible. We can't beat them. Why even try? When you have a player as good as James Harden on your team, anything is possible. I guess even more so since Lil B ever so graciously lifted the curse on James Harden a couple weeks ago, which, if you believe in superstitions like that, could be a good thing, since he also lifted the curse on KD the season before he won a ring. I honestly don't believe in that, and I think that he was forced to lift the curse on KD because he, like the rest of the world, knew that once he joined the Warriors, he was going to win a ring, curse or not. Anyways, like I was saying, teams like the Rockets, Spurs, Celtics, Cavs, even the Pelicans, since the second they committed to trading for DeMarcus Cousins, were technically going all in. Teams like that, the teams that have star players who are ready to win now, simply aren't gonna wait and are gonna try and go at the Warriors' throats right now. They're gonna take risks this summer, which is why I said this was going to be a very interesting and crazy offseason. A lot of NBA fans would love it if the Golden State Warriors somehow magically disbanded, fell apart, something like that, since it will make the league fair again. Adam Silver, though, is not one of those people, as in an interview when he was asked about the dominance of the Warriors, he said this: "Rather than focusing on the top of the league, we should be focusing on the rest of the league. Rather than talking about how to break up or knock down championship caliber teams, my focus should be on how we do a better job developing more great players in the league." And yes, an incredible free agent was added to that squad. All the focus seems to be on they're too good, as opposed to what it is we should be doing to create more great teams in this league. That's what my response is. Now, this type of response shouldn't be a surprise coming from the head of the NBA. You'd have to be crazy to think that he'd want to see the best team in the league, the team that is selling the most tickets, merchandise, and really just making the league the most money all around broken up. I mean, the finals between the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers was the most viewed finals since 1998. There is no way he wants that team broken up, which also makes his response even more appropriate, since he said he just wants to develop more great players in the league. More great players equals more great teams, which equals more competition, which equals more interest in the NBA, which equals more money for the NBA. So it's clear that the league will want more powerhouse teams like the Warriors to develop from a business standpoint. But from a fan standpoint, is it the same thing? Like Silver said, a lot of people feel the Warriors are simply too good, which they are. I mean, they're leaps and bounds ahead of their competition right now. No one is disputing that. But it's not as bad for the league as it might seem. Think about it. The Warriors are going to force other teams and players to really step it up and try extra hard to get better. Once again, like I said yesterday, not every team, not every player in this league is okay with just losing and getting swept in the playoffs. And when you have a competitive spirit like they do, when you see the best, all you can think about is beating the best. That's if you have a competitive spirit, by the way. If not, and you just want to win, you're just gonna join the best. So I don't see this as a bad thing right now. The Warriors being as good as they are, really just raising the bar in terms of what it takes to be a championship team now, will only up the level of play in the league. It's gonna force other teams, other players to get better, which is a great thing for fans as well. I mean, who doesn't want to see more great teams and more great players in the NBA? Because that is what's going to have to happen if the Warriors are ever gonna have some serious competition, which I know they will, because regardless of what people think, the NBA is not doomed. It's not going to be the Warriors just literally stomping over people to get the wins. I mean, they might win more championships, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as people are making it out to be. And that's going to lead us to the question of the day. How do you feel about Silver's remarks? Do you think that the Warriors being as good as they are will help the NBA or hurt it? Let me know down in the comment section below, but now let's take a look at what you guys said in yesterday's video. And yesterday, after it appeared the Lakers were talking down Lonzo Ball, after hyping up just about every other player in the draft, I asked you guys if you felt it was true and they really are not impressed at all with Lonzo, or if they're just trying to trick the Celtics into not drafting him. And here's what you guys said. The Lakers want him. Why wouldn't Magic Johnson want someone whose game is so similar to his? The Lakers are definitely throwing smoke screens. If you ever see Lonzo play, you know his conditioning is great. Just look at the pace of UCLA and Chino Hills when Lonzo played. Question of the day. No, they're not throwing smoke bombs. Lonzo is a good player, but everyone needs to recognize that he is overhyped. I think the Lakers would be better by drafting Josh Jackson. I think they could improve very much in the NBA, and that's why I think they should draft Josh Jackson. While I do believe that they really could just be trying to throw smoke screens, I also thought that if they were, Boston's management would probably be able to see through it. I mean, if we can, then why wouldn't they be able to do it? Which is interesting because maybe, just maybe, LA secretly really wants Fultz. And they're throwing these obvious smoke screens to try and convince Boston to see them so they can take Lonzo. And Fultz is still there at number 2. LA is seriously trying to play some mind games. Like I said though, don't forget to leave your answers for today's question of the day down in the comment section below. But other than that, thank you guys once again for watching this video. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more daily NBA videos. And until tomorrow, keep getting the buckets, Team SEC, and I'm out of here. Peace!